Shalom, Yashala Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Kolo Loyam La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakah Kodash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the work. Shall keep at it. This your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right? The Most High said in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 17, that he made his men watchmen, right? And we're supposed to warn the people and give them warning from Yahweh, right? Basically, watch what's going on in the world and see it in the prophecies and warn the people about it. Right? Verse 2 in Habakkuk chapter 2, or Habakkuk chapter 2, says, And Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. The prophecies are speaking. Right? All of the end time prophecies are speaking. Right? This one in particular. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17, and verse 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right? Speaking about the daughter of Babylon, the influencer of the world. Verse 3, it says, So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication, which is what the kings of the earth are drunk with. Right? Verse 5, it says, And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Right? Let's see. Verse 15. And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right? That's the key point that I wanted to make. The nations are angry with the whore, and it will ultimately lead to the nations burning her with fire. Right? The Most High is exposing Esau, Edom, and exposing the daughter of Babylon. Right? With each day that passes by, and all of it is prophetic. Right? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. The devil being exposed is a part of end time prophecy. So the nations that are allied to the daughter of Babylon, right, they see her for what she really is. Right? And they are pissed. So with that being said, I'm gonna let this video play and I'll be back.
Meanwhile, the US is coming under fire from allies for an old bad habit. America snoops on its friends. Yesterday, we told you about top secret documents that have been leaked. They showed which countries the US was snooping on: Ukraine, Israel, South Korea, the UAE, among others. Needless to say, they're not happy about it. The US is in damage control mode because it has a lot of damage to undo. America has been calling top officials in ally countries and telling them they should not be worried.
U.S. officials have been in touch with relevant allies and partners over the last couple of days at very high levels. I'll leave it at that. So we're taking this very, very seriously. There is no excuse for these kinds of documents to be in the public domain. They don't deserve to be in the public domain. They deserve to be protected. So we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Two takeaways from what the White House has said on the matter. First, the US is in touch with its allies. And second, the problem is not the spying. The problem is the expose. How did it become public? That's what the US is really worried about. Remember, this is one of the worst leaks for the US in the 21st century. The last was perhaps in 2013, when Edward Snowden unleashed a storm by disclosing highly classified documents. America's allies are not amused, and they're saying it in so many words. We'll start with Israel. It is America's most important partner in West Asia. The leaked documents say that Israel's intelligence agency Mossad was behind the protests against Prime Minister Netanyahu. They also talk about how Israel could supply lethal aid to Ukraine. In response, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office has released a statement. It has called the claims mendacious and without any foundation whatsoever. Then we have Australia, another important partner of the US in the Indo-Pacific. This is what Australia had to say about the leaks.
The issue of maintaining the security of information is critical to the development of national capability and to the trust and confidence across allies and partners. And I appreciate that this, by reports, is a serious leak. It is being investigated seriously by US authorities, and they are engaging with partners in order to better understand the potential consequences of that information being released into the public.
That was the chief of Australia's Defence Forces calling the leak a serious one. Australia is part of the Five Eyes intelligence community. The US, the UK, Canada and New Zealand are also the members. These are 5 countries, including Australia, of Five Eyes that share intelligence. All members have asked for briefings from Washington, D.C. and they're yet to get a concrete response. At least 2 of these countries are very concerned. One of them said, and I'm quoting, "We expect the US to share a damage assessment with us in the coming days, but we cannot wait for their assessment. Right now, we are doing our own." Another member was worried about the leak hurting Ukraine's interests. The leak talks about the war. It says the battle for Donbas region will be stuck in a stalemate throughout this year. It also details Ukraine's weaknesses and vulnerabilities. So while countries are measuring their public responses, they're privately quite frustrated with the Americans. South Korea, though, is an outlier. It says the leak will strengthen the alliance between US and South Korea. It's a strange line to take. Listen to this.
The 2 countries are an intelligence alliance. We closely cooperate in terms of intelligence activities on important issues. Therefore, we intend to take this incident as an opportunity to strengthen our trust and cooperative system.
South Korea also says the leaked US documents are largely fabricated. America itself does not agree. It says only some of the documents and not all may be fabricated. The opposition in South Korea is asking some serious questions. It has expressed strong regret over America's surveillance activities. Opposition leaders are calling it a clear violation of their national sovereignty. The US is in a position where it does not have answers to some very basic questions, questions which the UK, Germany, UAE and Ukraine and also the EU are asking. Like, how did these documents end up online? Who was responsible for this leak? And what is the US doing to remove this information from social media? Washington has no answers. But here's what reports say. Apparently, the documents were first leaked on a platform called Discord, in a chat room which is very popular with gamers. You heard that right. Highly classified US intelligence documents first landed in a chat room full of gamers. Then they got picked up by the media. And this has been going on for weeks, apparently. Nobody in the American security apparatus got a whiff of what was happening until a week ago. This is both concerning and embarrassing for the United States. This is hardly the first time when they've been caught red-handed spying on friends and allies. The US also spied on at least 3 French presidents from 2006 to 2012. In 2013, the US was accused of spying on former German Chancellor Angela Merkel. It was monitoring the Chancellor's phone calls for many years. Subsequent leaks revealed that several German politicians were also being spied on. And these are just the most recent instances. Washington has been into such shady activities for a long, long time, but the world is only now realizing the scale of American espionage.
There it is, right? And it's crazy how she just said that daughter Babylon been doing this for years. It ain't nothing new, right? It's a book called CIA's Greatest Hits. It goes into all of that. This ain't nothing new. But the Spirit of the Lord is on the earth today. They in the end. This the end of Esau's rule. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. The reason why the nations are seeing it is because it's time for them to see it. It's an end time prophecy. Right? It's the book of Obadiah, verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right? Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? They can't figure out what's going on, right? But we, the men of the Lord have been letting you know, letting the world know, because Scripture said this gospel had to be preached around the world, then the end come, right? That's how we know that this truth is valid. Christianity been around, man, been around for centuries, right? And the things that's going on now has not been, right? The truth come out of who we really are. The internet gets activated. Daniel 12:4, seal up the basically the understanding of the scriptures until the end time, where knowledge shall be increased. Right, the Most High allowed the devil to, create the internet so that the gospel can be preached all around the world without a person having to physically get on the plane and go, right, or physically get on the ship and go. All you got to do is cut on your device and search. Right, it's time. Basically is what I'm saying. It's time for this devil to be exposed, and it's time for the end of his reign. Right? This the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. It's being touched. It's being touched, and it's going to ultimately lead to a physical touch, and that touch going to be with fire. Right? It says, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks and make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai coming with power, right? Coming with full-fledged power to destroy this place. Right. Let me see. Let me go to verse 10. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Like she said, they've been doing this for a long time, man, and they just been figuring in their head, well, we can just continue to do this forever. Ain't nobody gonna check us. We're gonna always be on top. That's the sentiment of the devil. Like, ain't nobody gonna take us down. Nobody will defeat our military. Nobody will get rid of our dollar. We'll always be on top. That's a proud statement, man. That's a proud statement, especially when you live in the exact same way your predecessors did in the past, or your forefathers did in the past. You literally repeating history, saying that you're going to change it by doing the same thing. Ain't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? No, that's pride, right? But it says in Isaiah 47:10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right? But we know, right? Because the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has revealed it unto us. The Most High said he would do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his prophets. Right? The Most High has let his men know what time it is, so we can then warn the people. We can watch and pray and warn the people of times to come until that warning is over with. And we living in the prophecies that have been prophesied about. We living in the warning, right? And it looks like that time coming real soon. And the water ha'abba Yahweh ba'ashem Yahweh Shai ba'ashem ha'rakakudash for it, man. Call Haloyim la Yahweh ba'ashem Yahweh Shai ba'ashem ha'rakakudash. Right? So with that, man, hey, Yahweh ba'ashem Yahweh Shai ratazah, these precepts in this video were edifying. Right? Call Haloyim la Yahweh ba'ashem Yahweh Shai ba'ashem ha'rakakudash. Shalom Yashala. Wa abad babal hagadawala.